wonderful folk out there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lark, and today I'm going to break down the complex world of music rights and royalties so you can understand what goes on behind the scenes. Ooh. This information is general advice only. I'm not a lawyer. I am far too flamboyant for that. You may not realize it, but every time you listen to a song, there are a bunch of people behind the scenes making sure it gets to your ears and that the people who created the music get paid for it. So let's start with part one of this video, which is creating, recording, and releasing music. There are 3 stages to this process. Stage 1 is creating, aka songwriting. Before a song is even recorded, it has to be written. Surprise, surprise. The people who write a song are called songwriters. They're responsible for creating both the music and the lyrics. When a songwriter creates a song, they automatically own the copyright to it. Copyright exists from the moment a song is written down or recorded. Now, there are 2 parts to copyright ownership. The composition of the song, which includes the lyrics and melody written by the songwriter or songwriters, and the actual sound recording, which is also known as the master. Step 2, recording. Once a song is written, it's time to record it. Depending on the situation, the songwriter might record the song themselves, or they might give it to another artist to record. Whoever records the song is called the performer. The performer doesn't own the copyright to the song, but they do hold some rights relating to their performance of it. So check out my previous fast classes where I talk about ownership of the master. But basically, to recap, generally whoever funded the sound recording owns the master. So if you paid for the recording, you own the master. If the producer did it for free, they own the master. If a record company funded the recording, they own the master. Ask poor Taylor Swift about that one. If you paid for some of the recording and someone else paid for some, you jointly own the master. Stage 3, releasing music. So music can be released via a digital distributor, record company, or through music publishing. Watch my fast class on how to release a song for information about working with digital distributors. Music publishing is where the song is registered with a music publisher so that it can be licensed for use in TV shows, movies, and commercials, and a whole lot of other mediums. So the music publisher is responsible for ensuring the songwriter gets paid when their song is played. Let's move on to rights and royalties now. So royalties are collected and distributed by performing rights associations. In Australia, this is the Australian Performing Rights Association, APRA. Seems like a pretty logical name. So these associations track how often a song is played and make sure the songwriter gets paid for each performance. So look up your country's Performing Rights Association and make sure you register your works with them. The way they keep track of those songs is through an ISRC code. Remember to subscribe for my upcoming fast class on ISRC codes. It's killer. So if you perform your songs live or online, you need to keep track of each performance and report it to your association. Performing rights and mechanical rights are 2 different things, but they work hand in hand, much like those professional associations that represent songwriters, composers, and music publishers. When you join these associations and register your works with them, you give them permission to license and administer your performance, reproduction, and communication rights. They work together to do this, and they provide formal protection for you and your music, so make sure you do it and make sure you join both associations. They're also superheroes because they protect and defend their members' copyright rights under the relevant Copyright Act of your country. I swear I'm not a lawyer. They also make sure you get fair payments. So the burning question I just know you have is, what is the difference between performing rights and mechanical rights? So let's unpack performance royalties and rights first. When a song is played on the radio or in a public space like a restaurant, coffee shop, live music venue, nightclub, or an 80s power aerobics class at your local gym, the songwriter is entitled to a performance royalty. Businesses need to apply for and be granted special licenses if they want to use your music. There are different licenses for different types of businesses, depending on how they're going to use works. Either by communication, like when a radio station or a TV station plays your works, or if your songs are played online or through a public performance, like when you play your music at a gig. So I just have to say, live performances pay brilliant royalties, by the way, or online. A song's ISRC code is the beacon that will be used by the association to collect and distribute royalties from the license fees that the business paid. They do this for their members and also for affiliated organisations overseas. Part 3, let's look at mechanical rights and royalties. So mechanical royalties are paid when a song or works are reproduced. In Australia, third parties who want to reproduce music need to apply and pay for a licence to do this. What is reproduced, I hear you ask? Great question. Well, this includes CDs, DVDs, records, streaming, downloading, or any other digital reproduction. So this could include creating a cover of someone else's song or using samples from an original composition. It doesn't include print music, by the way. When you buy a song on iTunes or stream it on Spotify, a portion of that money goes to the songwriter as a mechanical royalty. This royalty is usually split between the songwriter and the performer. These royalties are collected and distributed by mechanical rights associations that I spoke about before. And in Australia, this is AMCOS. So when you join your country's association, you authorise them to issue licences and mechanical rights on your behalf and distribute mechanical royalties to writers and publishers of music. I recommend also registering with Sound Exchange. Sound Exchange is a US non-profit organisation and they track and collect digital performance royalties for non-interactive streaming. So this means where someone or something else decides what you hear. Large online platforms have got agreements with distributors and labels to pay rights directly to the rights holders, and Sound Exchange will get everything else. It's all very complicated, just register with everyone. Let's move on to part 3, which is sync licensing. A synchronization license is an agreement between a music user and the owner of a song that the music user can sync the song to some kind of visual media, like film, TV, ads, video games, the news, trailers, basically anything you can watch. A sync license sets out how much the copyright holder will get paid each time the song gets used, known as performance royalties or back end. Or it could be a one-off buyout fee, known as a sync fee or front end. The music publisher is responsible for negotiating the fee for the use of the song, and the songwriter gets a cut of that fee. If someone wants to use your song, they have to contact the copyright owners, who are the owner or owners of the master and the owner or owners of the composition. We spoke about this at the start of the fast class, so hit rewind if you need to. Alternatively, they could pay you a work for hire fee to write and record something just for them, for which they'll generally buy you out of the master. And there you have it, folks, the complex world of music rights and royalties broken down into easy to understand chunks. I hope my fast class has helped you understand what goes on behind the scenes when you listen to your favourite songs. So next time you're jamming out to your favourite tune, think about all the people who made it possible and all the work they're doing to make sure that the music keeps on playing. In my next fast class, I'll take a deep dive into ISRC codes and how they work to protect your music and get you paid.